Hi, welcome to Centerville Reports Today. I'm Maureen Russell Hodson. The Centerville and Washington Township community is coming together on September 7th in support of Safe Community Day. And here to tell us more about that, we have School Superintendent Tom Henderson, Washington Township Administrator Jesse Lightle, and Centerville City Manager Wayne Davis. And thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
This is a really serious and important topic, Tom. And when we talk about safe community, I know it can encompass a lot of things, but how did this specific idea come about?
Well, for our schools, we talk all the time about how the safety of our staff and students is our number one priority. And so we are constantly talking about what we can do in Centerville City Schools to create a safe environment. And so, and my central office team, as we have those conversations, one of my colleagues, Bob Yucks, the assistant superintendent, was noticing and had picked up on some statistics that in a lot of cases, especially in most recent cases, the school violence that has occurred has happened with students who have been able to access guns that were not secured. And so out of that concept and idea, we started talking about coming up with a community-wide program where we would ask all of the residents in Centerville and Washington Township to make sure that all the guns and weapons in their homes were safely stored and secured so that nobody could get a hold of those to do harm.
And the numbers are really staggering when you look at them.
That's correct. We know that about 42% of the adults that live in a household own a gun. We know that since 1990 there have been about 32 school shootings with at least 3 victims with those shootings, and about 67% of the students who use guns in violent acts actually got those guns from home, and so they were not secured at home and they had easy access to those.
And really for the whole community, this is not a political statement, but really a safety and security statement, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and so we're doing this program. We're going to kick it off on Friday, September 7th.
Right.
You picked a big game.
Right. Centerville Elks versus the Alder Knights, so it'll be a huge crowd, and we thought that would be a great night to invite, obviously, a lot of people to be a part of this kickoff. So we're excited about September 7th.
And that's going to be Safe Community Day. I know the city has proclaimed it that, as in the township as well. And so if you go to that game, and we are asking everyone in the community, regardless of gun ownership, to take a pledge.
Correct.
And then also, if you have a gun, we're distributing a free gun lock.
That's correct. So we'll have a tent with a table and literature available as everybody enters the stadium. And so we'll be in a spot where everybody can see us. We'll all be wearing gold T-shirts, and a lot of us will be there to greet everybody as they enter the stadium and give them the information. And again, the ask would be, it's not a judgment, it's not anything about the right to bear arms or an argument or a debate about the Second Amendment. It's just about, if you have guns, we'd like you to take a pledge to keep those safe and secure and to lock those up.
Now let's talk about the pledge.
Okay.
So you have a pledge card, or you can also say it. And so the pledge was created by the schools?
Right. We came up with some language, but this has been a collaborative endeavor with especially the city and the township, and now the Park District and the library have also joined together. So all 5 entities are all in to this.
It's very much a collaborative effort, isn't it?
That's right. So very early on, after working with our school board, Wayne and Jesse and all of the folks that they work with also came on board very quickly. So we have shared all this information. We've worked together on the language, and we've kind of vetted that amongst all the 5 entities to make sure everybody was in agreement and everybody has participated and everybody has shared in coming up with the concepts, the ideas, and the language that we're using. So it's been great.
Jesse, you're going to share the pledge with us, right?
I will. As Tom mentioned, we've all worked together to come up with the language for the pledge. The pledge says, whether or not I own a firearm, I will encourage friends and family to keep their firearms secure. If I choose to own a firearm, I will accept responsibility for using and storing it safely. I will secure my firearm when not in use and be aware of who can access it at all times.
So you will have actual pledge cards on September 7th.
That's correct.
At your tent that people can complete that, and then in exchange for that they'll get a voucher.
That's correct. They'll get a voucher for a free gun lock, and we will give those 2 pieces of information as people enter the stadium. And then we'll have the tent and the table set up again at the conclusion of the game. And if people want to pick up a free gun lock as they exit the stadium and head home, we'll be happy to pass those out as well to an adult that night as they leave.
And if for some reason that you are unable to attend the game, you can stop by various locations, right? You can each share. We'll have gun locks at the city building.
Certainly at the city building, 100 West Spring Valley in Centerville.
We'll have them at Washington Township, 8200 McEwen Road, and from 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday.
And at the board office on 111 Virginia Avenue from about 8 to 4 as well. And we have an agreement with the Park District and the Centerville Library. The Park District is going to be at their park headquarters, 221 North Main Street, between 8 and 4:30. And then the library during their library open hours, which is 111 West Spring Valley Road.
And that'll begin September 10th, right?
Correct.
Right after the weekend, the Monday following the game.
That's correct.
And do you have to have a voucher to receive the gun lock?
No, and even if somebody is concerned about filling out the pledge and they want access to a free gun lock, we'll provide that as well. So it's all about making sure that anybody that owns a weapon or has guns, to making sure that those are locked up and secure and safely stored.
You do need to be 18 years of age. You need to be an adult.
That's correct.
To get the gun lock.
That's correct.
Okay. And so it's before the game, so around 6 o'clock on the 7th, and then immediately following?
Right. We're going to be ready to go with the tent and all the information about 6 o'clock on the 7th. Probably a little bit earlier because we know it'll be a big crowd with between the Elks and the Knights. But and we'll stay out there as long as people are coming in, and then we'll go in and watch a great game. And then at the conclusion of the game, or towards the end, we'll be set up ready to go. So as people exit, if they'd like to pick up a free gun lock, we'll be happy to oblige them.
And for more information, too, you can go to the website, which is cwgunlocks.com, and that will also address the voucher and also have the pledge on there as well.
Right.
And I know this is serious and really kind of heavy information to talk about, but our community, Centerville, Washington Township, is a very safe community, and we certainly don't want to alarm people either.
Right.
And the schools have taken a lot of steps and measures toward that end.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. We've worked really hard, like I said, to try to make sure that we have everything covered, and the safety of our staff and students has always been our #1 priority, and we continue to work hard to make sure that environment is safe at all of our school buildings. So.
And so you have other measures as well. I mean, I know we all remember fire drills.
That's correct.
Which still take place.
Right.
But you have other measures too.
That's right. Well, you're right, Maureen. All of the mandated safety drills are still in place, fire drills, tornado drills, but we also practice emergency evacuations and other emergency drills that have various different scenarios about, what would happen if, for example, there was an active shooter in the building and those kinds of things. But currently all of our buildings are locked down, and so we do have cameras and buzz-in systems, so all guests and visitors have to go through a process where they identify themselves. We also have MARCS radios, which are the multi-agency radio communication systems. Some people would refer to those as kind of a panic button that can be pushed in case of a real dire circumstance or an emergency. And as soon as those buttons are pushed, that radio sends out a signal, and various law enforcement agencies from around the area will respond immediately. We also contracted just recently with another agency called Social Sentinel, and Social Sentinel scans all of the public social media that's out there every day and 24/7.
Wow.
And so
That's
every
incredible.
morning at 6 o'clock I get an update of what's going on. And if there's a perceived threat, that'll come through as a text to me anytime throughout the day or night, and then we follow up on that as well. And then, like you said, we have an unbelievably great relationship with the city and the township, and so the city shares with us two Centerville police officers, as school resource officers in the township, a deputy sheriff that works in our schools that are in the township. Additionally, we do have on our website a 24-hour anonymous tip line, and that gets used a variety of times throughout the school year. Sometimes it can be used as simply as if another student is worried about another student and they just want to remain anonymous, they'll put that information out there. Sometimes it involves a school threat. Sometimes it's a little bit more benign and is really not that serious. But if it is something serious and it's in the middle of the night, the call center will actually call me if there's a big cause for concern. So we're kind of on 24/7 in a lot of cases.
And all of that information is accessible via your website.
That's
if somebody
correct.
wanted to make a call.
Right.
So this gun lock giveaway really is another step in terms of all the other things that you do and in keeping up with the trends as well.
Right, that's
Since
correct.
the numbers are unfortunately reflecting that lots of guns are being used in school violence.
That's correct, yeah.
And the city and the township, you're working together. I know we practice every year an emergency preparation, but really year round we're working on a variety of emergency practices and preparation.
So the Emergency Operations Center, I think, is a great example of that, where we work together jointly. Schools are also involved in that to just make sure we're prepared and taking the steps that we need to take in the event that one of these things ever happens to us here in the community. Schools are such a valuable part of our community. It's paramount for us to ensure that we've got safety and security as the #1 priority for us.
So I know we've practiced a variety of drills over the years, and sometimes I think they always involve some kind of school or weather or something, but just so that our residents know that we are ready. I know our police and sheriff practice everyday fire. That's just part of their regular operations. So I feel pleased to live in such a safe community with great government, good schools, good libraries, and the parks, and the fact that they're all coming together shows the importance of this topic. Yeah.
Agree. Mm-hmm.
So again, let's review. It's kickoff, Safe Community Days. It's Friday, September 7th.
That's correct.
You said you're wearing gold shirts, so we can't miss you all for that. But really, it also gives people a chance to come up and talk to your local officials. This would probably be an opportunity. People are out in the community. You're at a football game. There's lots of people. Maybe you have other questions. I'm sure you all would be willing to address those as well.
Absolutely.
You can take the pledge, you can pick up a voucher, and then you can go to any number of locations, the city building, the government center, the school board, the Centerville Library, the Washington Centerville Park District. You can pick up a gun lock, and those are coming from a variety of sources, right?
That's correct, right, yeah. We'll be working on donations of all those materials that we're using, and it's great, again, that we have such support to do this important work. So.
And then if you want more information, you can also go to the website, which is cwgunlocks.com. You can take the pledge there, you can sign it, and then you can also print off a voucher. You can take that voucher to any of those locations that we talked about and pick up a gun lock free of charge. Again, you need to be an adult to pick up that gun lock as well.
That's correct, right.
And joining us that evening at the football game, hopefully, will be other dignitaries from around the region, broader community. We've invited county judges, Kettering Court judges as well, along with the county sheriff. So we hope that they will be joining us in those efforts as well.
Really to show that everybody in the community is stepping forward and showing how important this is.
Exactly.
So that we don't have an incident
Right.
in our community.
And I think it's very important to add, this is a very innovative approach, I think, to addressing school safety and school violence issues. We don't know that there's actually anything like this taking place across the country. We believe it may become a model for other communities to follow. So we appreciate the support of the schools, the township, and our other partners throughout the community, and we believe it's going to be well done.
Yes, well, congratulations to all of you for stepping up and taking, I know, as you said, our safety, the safety of our children is #1. So thank you for that. We hope that you will stop by and see these three and many more on Friday, September 7th at Centerville High School. The kickoff is at 6 p.m. If you can't make it, you can always go to any location of the entities and pick up a gun lock. You can also go to the website, cwgunlocks.com, or you can call the city 433-7151 for more information, or visit our website, which is centervilleohio.gov. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.